Are you ready?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm very excited.
Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Emma, and this is my podcast called Nothing Much Just Chillin', where we chill. And today I'm chilling with my very good friend and LA photographer, Maya. What? Wait, I was about to say my apologies.
That's who I am.
Maya Holt.
Yes, that's me. Maya Apologies.
Yeah.
Miss Apologies.
Yeah, Miss Apologies. That's her Instagram.
Miss Apologies. Happy to report in.
Yeah. That's her Instagram username, My Apologies, which I think is it's just so clever. Like, I love it so much.
Honestly.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, she's a genius.
Dude, whenever I've had it since 2011.
Oh.
Like right when Instagram came out, I was 18. Yeah, I was like, I had just graduated high school.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I feel like having Instagram in high school would have been so embarrassing.
Oh,
Like,
no,
thank
I'm
God.
so glad I didn't have it.
Thank-
Yeah, same. Like, I started it, like, it was during senior year when it launched and when I got it for the first time. And I've been Threema, like, ever since then. But
That's a good one too.
I'm so glad that, like, I quickly graduated. And then, like, even in college, like, it wasn't that big of a thing yet, I
Yeah.
feel like. And I can't even imagine having it, like, when I was a youngin'.
Yeah, literally.
Like, growing up with it.
Oh my God. Because I've had Facebook forever. Like, I used to be on MySpace, and then MySpace kind of dwindled and everyone was on Facebook. And I look at like the old shit that I posted back then, and I'm like, Miss Girl, you did not have to say that. Like,
It's so cringe looking back at yourself.
why didn't anyone stop me?
Yeah.
You know? Like, why didn't someone say, maybe you don't? Maybe you delete that? Because, oh my God, they just let me be
But
dumb.
I don't think anybody knew the trajectory of, like, what the internet would become. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't thinking, like, oh, digital files live forever. Like, anybody, like, your future bosses can, like, search up your name and see
You know
this. You know what I
what?
mean? Like, I don't think anybody was thinking that way yet.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, it's kind of interesting now that you mentioned that, because it's like now everyone knows and people are still being dumb. But you know what? That's
Yeah.
fine because I'm eating it up.
Right.
I have Facebook still. I love like
Yeah.
watching everyone.
Oh my God.
Being wild.
I barely go on. I only go on it because it's my only form of communication with my host mom that I stayed with in Copenhagen when I studied abroad.
That's so cute.
So I want to keep it because I want to, like, still have that communication with her. But besides that, like, I go on and I'm like, who are these people? Because everybody's like, their last name has changed because they've gotten married. So, like, I have
married.
no idea who this person is anymore because they look different. And I'm just like, I don't know who I'm following. Like, what's going on?
Well, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. There are some times where it's like, I just found out that somebody I went to high school with has like 5 kids. 5.
Oh my God.
Imagine having 5 right now. Again, I'm not like judging that in any way, but it's just
Like in our grade.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh my
how? Oh, yeah, you got busy. Like, it really, damn, you know, because like I'm over here just like sometimes waking up being like, how can I eat for free today?
No, literally.
Like, and she's having to take care of 5 kids, dude. Like, that's
crazy. That's so crazy.
yeah.
Wait, did you graduate high school in 2012?
Yeah.
Okay, same. Okay, so we're the same year.
Yeah, the same year. Oh, okay, so you get it. Yeah, damn. Good for you for not getting Instagram for a while. Yeah. Because, well, yeah, you probably got
I
it
probably
right.
got it before you because I remember posting, like, during senior year.
Oh, so
But
you got it before me.
It literally came out, like, just to be, like, a photo editing app. Remember that? Like, it wasn't really supposed to be, like, social media.
It would
and
have
I was like,
like a
I'll edit my.
feed.
Yeah, exactly.
But like it was just because like everyone else was just editing photos.
yeah.
Like, oh cool, I took a cool photo of my coffee cup. And it's like it had like the vignette all around it and like what are the Instagram filter names? I don't remember them.
Like lo-fi.
Lo-fi.
Like, yeah. I mean, they're still there. I just, like, don't
I don't
use
even
them.
I wonder if people still do. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know what my mom does? Now that you say that. She doesn't go on it often though. It's really cute. like she'll just get on and then just like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think she just forgets the app exists. She has Facebook, baby. She doesn't need anything else.
My parents have Instagram, and my dad posts a lot. My mom will post too, but my dad definitely posts way more, and he'll just post like random things like from, I don't know. He works for himself too. Like he's a Vietnamese interpreter, and he just like goes on a lot of trips for it.
Oh, so
like,
he posts like when he's on vacation.
Well, yeah, but it's not like vacation. It's like, oh, well, if he goes to Philadelphia, it's more about the food, I think, for him, because he and I are very everybody in my family is like a foodie. Like we're obsessed with food. We love good food. Like we have such like a high standard of taste. Yeah.
She just made a pumpkin bread.
I did. I just made pumpkin bread. Well, because, okay, so Maya and Josh came over today, and we're kind of doing a double feature of NMJC right now, but you're going to see Josh's episode before Maya's episode. I changed my shirt. I changed my hairstyle. It's separate. This is a brand new day.
Bro,
but I was like, I gotta have
to
snacks. I have to be honest. Like, I can't.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
But
She
no
tried,
one's gonna care.
You know what? Right, I know. They're gonna start sending hate comments.
But anyway, but he'll go to like, if he does work in Philadelphia, like there's a bunch of, my sister went to school there, and so he just knows like all the places he likes to eat there, and then he'll just like Instagram about like about his food.
That's honestly the best way to use social media. I feel like so many people got lost in the sauce, because like I would literally just post, like, I remember I took a mirror selfie in a pot. Like there was a pot on the kitchen table and there was like noodles in it, and I took a selfie in there and I was like this. I wish I still had that photo. But I deleted it because I got embarrassed.
That's iconic.
That's what I'm saying. But like everyone became so aesthetic. And I've had my Instagram for so long, so I was able to get that name, bringing it back.
Right.
So I was able to get my apologies because no one else had it.
Yeah.
And before that, I had mayonnaise. So Maya, like mayonnaise.
Are you a fan of mayonnaise?
I am, but it was just like what people called me growing up, because MAYA. It was called mayo.
Did you
all the
like
time.
that?
No.
I was just about to say, like, I wouldn't have, even if I liked my mayonnaise, I probably wouldn't have liked that.
I got really mad. I like tattled on someone whenever they called me mayo, and I got them in trouble. I was like, he just called me mayonnaise, and like I got him in trouble because I was like pissed about it. And then I tried to take the power back by making it like my name on Instagram, and I was like, this is gross. So I made it my apologies, and I have not changed it since. Like I knew I was all, I'm God's favorite right now. I gotta hold on to this shit.
No, 100%.
Yeah, like I don't have it on Twitter, and the girl that does, oh, it's a bummer. She's beautiful, and she's like a Black Lives Matter advocate, and she's like this beautiful Black woman. And during like 2020, she was making these tweets just talking about like rights of Black people, and it was just like really beautiful. But the downside was that she was like, people were screenshotting her tweets that were going viral and then tagging me, because I'm my apologies on Instagram and she's my apologies on Twitter. So people kept crediting me for like,
oh,
isn't that
for like
crazy?
her work. Oh my God.
And I think she wasn't super stoked about it, but she never said anything, but I think she knew what was going on. And I was all, damn, of all people to have the same name
That's
as
so
me.
unfortunate.
I know.
That's crazy.
But she has my apology on Instagram from what I knew, but I don't know.
Oh,
She's great. I love you. I'm rooting for you.
We love you.
Like,
my apology.
My apology. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
My apologies on X. Right? That's
what
it's called.
It's X now. Dude, I had someone on TikTok also DM me. Not DM, she commented on one of my videos, and she was also my apologies. Because I'm like my apologies _ and she's like my apologies, either the name or under, like with a number or something.
Okay.
She messaged me. She's all, please change your name. It's all I have. And I was all, y'all are so possessive.
Oh my God.
I know. She literally was like trying to make me feel bad that she had the same name. I'm like, Miss Girl, I've had it since 2011.
Yeah, before you were born. Probably. I don't know how old this girl is, but
maybe. Freaking maybe. And so the name, there's like so much drama with it. I don't know if you get anything with like Threema.
No.
But must be nice. It's so good though. It like looks so nice.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, it just looks so good.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, my name on all platforms, is Threema, 3MUH, and I made it because it's like it's like Emma. But my friends in right, because we didn't have Instagram in high school, but my friends in college, a lot of them would call me Threema. And I liked it. I still like it when people call me Threema. I like it.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a cool name. And like, I love it whenever people don't have like any numbers or anything. They just have the name.
Yeah.
So good.
It just looks so like clean.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like how I have like a personal Instagram, and I'm very like my opinions.
It's great.
That one I made only like 2 years ago. Cause like I used to have it used to be a different name. It was like my dad's radio name whenever he worked in the radio back in the day. Aww. It was Captain Mozo. So that used to be my name on my personal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cute because like keeping the memory of him being like on the radio, very, very adorable. But then I changed it to My Opinions because like I had to. There wasn't a number or anything. It's My Opinions. Dude, I almost want to make a fashion page. Oh no, someone might steal it. Where it's like a fashion where I post like outfits of the day, but it's my appearances.
Oh, I love that.
I know. It wasn't taken the last time I checked, but who knows? Like, am I gonna take it now? No, I'll have to hop on it.
No, yeah, you'll do it before this episode comes
out.
Before
it already exists, and I like don't have anything on it. I'm just holding on to it.
And we need to get into how we know each other.
I know.
We first met at LA Fashion Week.
Yes.
In October 2021.
Yes.
I think it was. Mm-hmm. And yeah, because that's the first time. Well, actually, that's not the first time I met Sam, but that's the second time I met Sam. That's the first time I saw Sam like in lighting, because the first time I met her was like in a club where we were both like hired to take photo and video, and when we said hi to each other, we just knew who we were because we had like cameras in our hands, and like I think we both had masks on, so we like, didn't know what each other looked like.
So you guys crossed paths again because of LA Fashion Week.
And like we just like randomly crossed, but we have a mutual friend.
Oh, okay.
But we also didn't know that each other was gonna be at LA Fashion Week, so I knew her.
Yeah.
But we were sitting. When I remember like actually meeting you is that we were all sitting down, like where all those chairs were, like where like models sit to wait, and it was like a group of us, like girl photographers, and I was like, okay, I guess this is like, it was so new to me, LA Fashion Week. That was my first time doing it. I was like, okay, I guess this is what we do. We just like sit down here and like wait for something, hang out, wait for something to happen. But like, but we all didn't like know each other. We were just like, okay, I guess girl photographer. Yeah. And I think that just all like, bonded us, you know?
Yeah. Which like, I'll tell you like how I perceived that whole thing.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah. Cause so I went with Lexi.
Oh, okay.
She was the one that told me.
Yeah.
And she was like, you should apply. And like I did. And I got in, and I was like, hell yeah. Like, because I was like, I also wasn't really that into doing that kind of stuff. You know, my photography.
Right.
Like, it wasn't really my thing, but I was like, you know what? Like, this is cool. Like, I'm going to still do it. It's like a cool gig either way. And whenever I went, I had Lexi there, and Lexi's like a way more extroverted person than me. Like, I'm very sociable, but I don't like starting conversations. And with that situation, like, it was just so like overwhelming. That I was like, literally, if Lexi wasn't there talking to you guys, I would have kept to myself, because like I think I was sitting over there first, and then you guys sat like next to me. I think that's the only reason like why I was being like, oh, okay, like dude, I guess this is happening. I guess we're all talking. Yeah. Because then somebody like made a group chat, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm a part of this now. Like, and we barely knew each other. Dude, yeah. Like I was like, no, it's the same thing with me. I literally wouldn't have done it. Like, I would have kept to myself. And that's like, I even remember when I met you, like, I felt like I was like, I think this girl's in the same boat as me, where we're both like, we are not socially like high energy. Yeah, right, we now do not want to be doing this right now. Yeah. And like, I couldn't tell. I was all, I think she's like with that. I was like, I don't think she's being pretentious. Like, I was all, I'm picking up what she's putting down. And I'm very shy when I don't know people. But because Sam was there, and Sam was like in the group chat, like Sam's very, I mean, she's extroverted. Like, yeah, she loves talking to people and like making friends, and she's so good at it, and she's so friendly and lovely, and like I love her so much. So I was just kind of like, okay, I guess like if Sam is like okay with this, I'll be okay with this. Like, dude, and like, yeah, Lexi, my friend Lexi, she's very, very extroverted. She is like talking and networking with people all the time. Like, also, I'm not a huge networker.
Same.
I'm not into that. I just don't really like it. It feels so forced. And like, I don't want to have to prove to anyone my worth. Like, I just want you to look at it and then either enjoy it or not.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to have to prove how successful I am to anybody.
And you don't have to.
Dude, and that's why it's like, oh my God, it's so hard. And that's why I could never even be on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Like, they literally are like having
I'm not
to
chasing anything.
Dude, exactly. I'm like, they have to literally, I watched The Golden Bachelor.
How was it? No, well, I've seen the ads for it. I haven't watched it.
It's delightful.
Really?
I'm really liking it so far. But you know, like whenever the first impressions, when they're like walking out of the van, like, and they're all just trying to make their first impression, like, bruh, my God, like the things that these women are doing just so they could be remembered. I was like, I wouldn't. I would be like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, what if I don't like you?
What's like an example of like what you saw?
Like, one came out and did like a cheer routine, and then one came out
like a grown woman.
One lady came out on a motorcycle. And like just like different things. One lady came and was like balking like a chicken. Like she had a basking. She owns a hen, like little hen house, and like she had like a bunch of eggs, and she's like, bah, 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 and just like trying to get remembered. And I was like, I would never do that.
I mean, that's what you have to do if you want to be on reality TV.
If you want to
do something
win.
crazy, like have the most insane version of yourself come out, so that you can be like a memorable character.
Yes. And like, oh man, that's how networking feels to me. It feels like people are just like talking at me and like, oh, this is all the things I've done. I've done this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to like get to know you and decide if I like you as a person. And then I want to learn like your career and why it shapes you and why it makes you love what you do. Like, I'm just not a huge networking person. So yeah, whenever like we were all there, everyone was all talking, and even when the group chat was made, I was all, well, this is kind of cute. Like, at least it's all ladies celebrating each other. And it kind of felt cute at first, but it also felt like, oh, is this one of these like networking things where it's like we all made a group chat and then we're never going to use it again, which ended up happening.
Didn't. Yeah.
Because like friendships, you can't just force friendships that.
You can't. But I'm so glad that it worked. Yeah. I'm glad that I met you from it, because then I think once we all like followed each other on Instagram, then I could easily tell like who I would get along with and who I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially us both living in downtown at the time, I was like, oh, okay, this is somebody I can like connect with because we live so close. And also I liked your work and how you posted about it. And yeah, it didn't like, nothing about you seemed like pretentious to me. Sick. Which in those scenarios oftentimes happens when people just come up to you and be like, hey, like, what do you shoot? What do you like to shoot?
Gear
like, what gear are you using? Yeah. The classic thing a male photographer will come up to you and ask.
Dude, and like, or piggybacking off of beautiful women for their own career.
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying that there are some good ones, but like there are so many male photographers that are just using women's bodies to get more followers. And I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
grinds my gears. And then they judge me for not. They're like, oh, you have a newer flash.
Oh, your model is fully clothed.
Yeah, literally. Oh my God. And yeah, oh my God, get out of town. So yeah, that's like, I followed you, and like, I think you were one of, you were absolutely, other than Sam, of course, but like my favorite person that I met. Cause like, I just started like seeing what you were sharing, and I just like liked you as a person. Like I really, I felt like the way you were portraying yourself, I was all, I like this bitch. I really like her. And it didn't feel pretentious on your end either. Like, good. And that's a whole other conversation that I feel like you and I could really like dive into, is just the weird competitiveness with photographers, especially between other female photographers.
Yes, 100%.
I feel like it happens in a lot of industries where women are just not supporting each other, and they find it really competitive. And someone told me once that it's kind of like in reference to I don't know, prehistoric days when we're like cavemen, that women are like wanting to be with the most attractive man.
Yes, they're like fighting for the man who can, you know, I don't know,
make the best kids. Something like
that like has the best genes or something, or like, or is able to provide the most for them, like in terms of like going out and like killing something for dinner. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get the top of the wolf pack or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel exactly I feel like maybe that's correlated.
Yeah,
but I feel like,
definitely. It's like something in us that's like, oh, feels like we need to like fight to have our like place in whatever we're trying to achieve.
Have our,
and, like,
our
I'm
seat
just
at the
not
table
like that. Like
I'm not,
so
and it doesn't even have to be like that. And it's so
yeah.
weird that people think that it has to be that way, because it's like, it's quite literally, it's so easy to just be supportive. Like there does not have to be competition. You do not have to judge anybody or like feel inadequate. I feel like there's more than enough work for all of us. I think there's a lot of so much judgmental viewpoints on just people who have cheaper gear, and that's so unfair.
Oh my God. I love it. The pictures that I take like with my little digicam are often my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand like why everyone's like, ooh, did you get the new mirrorless camera? You know what I mean? Like it's just it is very gear. Talking about gear, the gear you have, it is a very like because I always say like it doesn't matter what gear you have. It's your eye. It's who's taking the picture. Because I always say like I could make somebody look like a supermodel just with the iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, or with a toy camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's $25. Like I could make someone look like a supermodel.
Yeah.
It does not matter what gear I have, and that's often a question I get, and I'm sure you get this a lot with people who want to start photography or who are amateurs in photography. They're like, oh, what camera should I get? What camera should I use? What camera is the best for this? What camera is the best for this?
Dude, just pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, because there's no rules here. There's absolutely no rules. I have ridden on the backs of just like getting away with the most I can on the cheapest budget possible.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't have the money, and it's just so messed up when you're like judging someone for not having like a $5,000 camera.
Yeah.
Like that is so unfair, especially because it's like, I use the Canon EOS R, for example. It's dated now. Like I should be on the R5, and I'm not. You know why? Because I'm an editor, and I'm not doing video. And like honestly, people can judge me all they want for like not having a nicer quality thing.
Oh,
or
nobody's
thing,
judging you.
But like, dude, I'm booked.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
you're booked and busy.
Yeah, and it's like.
It was hard to get Maya on this podcast.
Dude, oh my God. Well, that's a whole other conversation, but it's just like, oh, it gets me so, and that's why I don't even like networking, because it's like, I really hate the classism. I see it as classism.
Yes.
Like when people are judging you for the gear that you have, it's like, or they're judging if you don't have a prime lens with Canon, like, oh, you use a Sigma. It's like, shut up, dude. Like my Sigma 35 millimeter is like $900, whereas like if I would have gotten the same one with Canon, it's $2,800.
Yep.
Like, dude, I'm getting better photos than you, so you can like shove it.
100%.
You know,
like, I'm getting work.
I'm getting booked. Like, and I'm an editor, and like there are some discrepancies, things here and there, but like literally your clients do not know that. Like, unless you're shooting on like really, really crazy like things and you're working on a high production kind of stuff, like freelancers, when you're working in retail, like a lot of the time you're only posting on social media, and social media distorts everything, so there's literally no point. No point in them caring so
mine has
much.
4K, it's like, okay, Instagram can't even process that.
Exactly. And like some people can't afford it.
Yeah.
So like, how dare you say that to somebody?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so messed up, because it's like, how are you going to expect for anyone to excel if you're going to judge them because they can't afford the camera that you got? Sorry, I don't have $30,000 to drop.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I'm not going to get a Leica, dude. I'm not doing it.
Okay, this is like on such a small scale, like not actual camera gear, but told me this life hack, this photography life hack, that if you put a paper towel over your flash, that it'll diffuse it. And, you know, normally people have like actual diffusers that they put on their flash, and now I do have one. They're really cheap. Like I got it for like $7 on Amazon. Like, and I have an actual one now because I'm like, okay, I'm shooting a wedding soon. Like I should have an actual one.
I have the same one that it's like a little square that you put on top.
Exactly. Like it's so cheap.
It does the job.
Oh my God.
It does the job so well because I have a $60 one too. And I revert back to the $7 one more.
Okay, good to know. Well, I was using a paper towel for a year. I was using a paper towel and putting it on with a ponytail. And I remember the ponytail. I remember the first time I did it was New York Fashion Week last year, and I was getting like a lot of looks from other photographers. They were like, "What?" And some people were like, "Oh, like I have an extra one if you want." I'm like, "Oh no, like I'm fine." Like that was nice that somebody offered one to me. And then this one guy, I walked past him, this one photographer, and he was like, "Nice diffuser." And I was like, "Thanks." He was like, "You're the only one thinking around here." And I was like, "Oh, thanks. My friend told me to do this."
See, hearing
like,
that,
it's so much more fun to like have a conversation like that than just have whatever everybody else is.
You absolutely do not need the best gear all the time. In certain situations, maybe, but those are outliers. Most of the time, you can get away with whatever, like that, or like the clear parchment paper. To diffuse, like put it instead of buying a diffuser for like your soft boxes.
Yes.
Parchment paper is your soft box, baby.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Diffuses the light. Like, there's so many ways to get away with like not spending a lot of money.
Yeah, being creative with what you just have.
Honestly, that's why I got into Photoshop, because I didn't have the money to own a nicer camera. So I just edited really, really good. Like I edited in all like these features. Like I knew makeup, so like I would edit in like highlight on the inner tear duct. I would give a highlight. Every time I edit, I'm always giving people makeup, like highlight.
Yes.
I'm up like highlighting the upper lip. I do a little shine right here. I draw in like a little fleck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then I do shadows like around the ring of the iris. Mm-hmm. I darken that, and then I lighten right here. I darken the pupil, and then I lighten all the highlights. And like that,
your editing process, I mean, I want to get into that, but can we backtrack for a second? Yeah. And talk about like how you even started in photography, like how you got into it.
Yeah. It was an accident. I did not know that I was going to fall in love with it the way that I did.
Oh, okay.
I just grew up, I think, just like not given like enough resources to figure out what I was really into. Yeah. And I just couldn't really find anything that really stuck. Like everything kind of felt like out of habit. Like I just played the clarinet every day in band because it was like, well, it's there. I'm not going to quit. Yeah. You know, so I'm just going to keep doing it. And then I wasn't really in sports. Like band was my thing. Mm-hmm. And then I was in like theater here and there. I kind of did some sports here and there, but I just never found something I really liked. Even whenever I went to college, I was like, I changed my major like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I started out in psychology, and then I switched to criminology, and I was going to minor in forensics and work as a forensic field investigator because I had just watched Dexter, and I was like, I want to be a blood spatter analyst. Like, that seems fun. And like, that's so not me. Like, imagine me. I wouldn't do that.
But I feel like it kind of is. I feel like knowing your personality, I feel like you being into something like that makes a lot of sense for me. But I also am like, well, she's meant to be an artist, you know?
Yeah, I definitely tried to like, I thought that there wasn't any money. And I was taught that there wasn't any money. We
all are taught that there isn't any money.
Continuously. And it's like, bro. Oh my God, don't even get me started. So like, yeah, I went to school for all these different things. I actually got an associate's degree in liberal arts because I like didn't know what else to do with my life. I was like, well, I have this. And like I kept changing my degrees that a lot of the like classes that I took didn't translate into other things. So I got liberal arts because it was like a little bit of everything. Yeah. And then after that, I was going to a community college, and that was connected to a main campus. So I went to the main university after that. And then I was like, I'm going to stop being afraid. I'm going to become a filmmaker. And I didn't have the money. I didn't have like the resources to do it. And I was really scared because like you had to basically submit something to like get approved into the school. And I thought it was going to be much harder to do. I found that it's not. Like, it's actually really, really easy. They just want to show that, like, you care about whatever you do. And it doesn't have to be, like, good quality or done by with a camera. Like, you could film it on anything. Yeah. And they would have been okay with it. But I didn't know that. So I was like, okay, well, how do I get away with doing that without like having to apply? And I was like, if I make it a minor, I don't have to apply. I get to take all the film classes. So then I was like, okay, well, what degree will allow me to have film as a minor? That makes a lot of sense. Journalism. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do that. And then, hey, you know what? I love documentaries. I'll just be a documentary filmmaker. So I went to school with that in mind. Like, I literally went to school thinking I was going to make documentaries. And I took minor in film, so I got to take all these film classes without, like, I'm always cheating the system, baby. I'm always trying to find a way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's how you grew up. Like, having limited resources really makes you think out of the box, makes you creative.
Yeah, it made me, and like, you know what? Though I'm not a journalist now, I definitely think I learned a lot of useful tools, and it has given me some jobs. Like, I edit a lot of copy for people because I was like, when I was in class, I was more of an editor. That was like more of my thing. And you know what? It helps me in that regard. Totally. Or sometimes it helps me in like condensing people's work, because I'm really good at like shortening something from like a certain amount of numbers to like cut it in half. Yeah. I'm really good at being concise on paper, but not also, in real life. But
okay, but also, Maya, I feel like it's helped you. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's helped you learn how to like tell a story.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, and because not only is your photography amazing and like that work speaks for itself, but I feel like you're really good at making TikToks, like making video content like around the work that you make, around the photo shoots and stuff, to be able to show people in a concise way, right? TikTok, like it's a limited amount of time. And I feel like that, have you never thought of that?
No.
But I feel like that's very,
it feels I write scripts for all of my videos.
Exactly. That's like journalism.
Yeah.
No, that's literally it.
I couldn't just like, sometimes I'll talk at it and I'm like, nah, and I'll write down scripts, and then as I'm doing the voiceover, I'll be like having the script written down and then I'll like say it. Yeah. But that's just like, I think my thought process, like, because of journalism, I guess I never pieced it together. Yeah, thank you for noticing that. That is so cool. Wow, I just learned something about me. How neat. Yeah, you know what? That makes me feel really much better. I feel much better about the degree, because sometimes I'm like, what a waste of time.
Yeah, like why did I do that?
Dude, oh my God. I did not. I mean, I met Josh in college, so that was good. But like,
totally.
I thought I was going to do video though. I did not ever have an interest in photography. I was kind of just like, I just had to use a camera, like, and even I remember, because, okay, so I also got a job at the university running the social media. Oh, okay. And and even how I got that, that's a whole other thing, but I entered in a pageant with a radio station and won. And I became like the girl of that radio station. It was like a rock radio station. So like, I used social media to like, because it was like online votes, and basically my hometown went in. I like somehow said the right things, and I won because I got enough votes.
That is amazing. Also forgot to mention at the start, which I forgot to mention with Josh until we got like halfway through, is that you are from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes. So yeah, like, and it was this radio station called 104.1 The Edge, and there was like a morning show called the Buck and Dex Show, and I won Miss Buck and Dex, and that I used social media.
Buck and Dex?
Yeah, Buck and Dex. I was Miss Buck and Dex, baby, 2015. And
wait, what? Sorry. What is that name? What, Miss Buck and Dex? What does that
Buck
mean?
and Dex are like the two guys. So the Buck and Dex show, and I was Miss Buck and Dex.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And then they actually ended up getting, they got let go. I don't really know exactly what happened, but
from the station.
Yeah, basically, like the radio station just didn't really want their show anymore, and just out of nowhere, I guess this happens in radio or something. Wow. But they got fired like 2 months into my reign, And so, but I used that like experience to get me to a job into working in social media.
Yeah.
They would give me a camera and I would use it and I would like film stuff for film school. But then I got to be surrounded by cameras. And I remember I would shoot football games on auto, baby. Like I didn't know a damn thing.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about a camera. I didn't actually like school for me too was a waste of time in the sense that all I cared about was passing and not learning. I feel like homework is like one of those things that makes you think it's a chore. And I just like didn't retain information. I was all about passing. So like I was learning about these cameras and throwing it away because I was all, no, I just gotta pass the next test.
Right.
So then when I graduated, I didn't have any jobs lined up because I didn't want to do journalism. I had to cover the 2016 election. And I was like, I do not want to be a journalist in any way, but I got a degree in this.
Right.
And like, there's no jobs in film. I don't know where to start. There's not a lot of information. I feel like it's a very hard job to get into if you don't know the right people.
Totally.
And I didn't know anything. So I was like, just bartending and serving, and that was it. And I had a camera. And I was like, after I was all, well, like, I guess I'm going to just be a server until I figure out what the hell I'm going to do. Like, maybe I'll keep
Which is not a bad plan.
Yeah, I'll just be a server, and then hopefully I can maybe find a journalist job or, like, work in film. And then on the side, I started photographing my friends. And I started using a camera. Josh and I were dating. Josh pretty much taught me how to use a camera because, like, I was always shooting on auto or aperture priority.
Yep.
And he taught me like all the technical stuff, and like he was able to answer my questions because for me it was just like the learning curve was hard.
Yes.
And so yeah, I learned because of him, and then I just started photographing people. I started coming up with ideas, and then I didn't have the money to buy a nicer camera, so I got really into Photoshop to make up for it. I fell in love with Photoshop by accident again. Photography and Photoshop started paying for things. Like I was getting hired to shoot weddings. I was getting hired to shoot couples photos. I was doing this thing, like portraits of dogs, so photography, and I was like getting paid to like take pictures of people's dogs. Like dude, it was awesome. Photography. It was such a good gig.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got to hang out.
Did you coin that? Oh my god!
I will say I had a friend that like said it as like a joke. Like he DM'd me. I was all doing pet portraits, and he's all, "You mean photography?" And then it was like, whoa. And I don't know if he even knows that like he's birthed that because he said it, and I was all, oh my god. And I should ask him, but because like he said that, and I was all, oh my god. So then I just started calling it photography. And
Genius.
then I was taking portraits of dogs. That was a good time. And like it was just paying for a lot of stuff. And on the side, I was just like coming up with these passion projects and doing creative shoots. Sometimes for Halloween, I was so booked and busy. I was like getting hired all the time to just shoot like hot people in their Halloween costumes or like concepts. Like people were paying me for that, but there's just not enough work in that in Albuquerque. Like there just isn't enough resources there. So I was like, okay, well, I want to move to a bigger city so I can get paid to do the fun stuff that I love doing. Because I don't want to keep doing weddings. I don't want to keep shooting family photos. Like I don't want to have to keep doing that. I want to be creative and like you
work with other creative people.
Yeah, like you see the stuff that I make. Like that's a lot of people do not want to like pay for that unless they're in the industry and they need album art, things like that. So I moved here. And so far, I mean, it's been working out for me. Like, I do this full time, and I'm able to pay my bills. Like, a lot of people can't say that, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm very overworked at the moment. Yeah. Where since I'm the only person that manages my time, I definitely do not manage my time wisely.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh about that because he does that very well for himself.
Dude, he's so organized.
So I was asking him tips about that. But I agree. I get you. I'm really bad at managing my time as well, especially when I'm like overbooking myself because I'm sure you feel this way too. Like I am not a robot. Like I can't just sit in front of the computer all day. I mean, I can, but like it stifles my creativity. It makes my morale really low if I'm not like getting out and doing other things. But when I have a lot to edit, that's what I do. I just sit in front of the computer and like do what I need to do for my clients. And it's hard. It's hard, and you're also alone. Like you're doing it solo, you're doing it by yourself. Like we don't have any employees, like we don't have anybody like checking in on like, oh, like did you do this? Or it's all like
We do
it's
it
solo
all.
oh my god, what's the word? Solopreneur. Like an entrepreneur, but like
Yeah,
a
but you're on your own.
You're
yeah.
on your own. And it can be really isolating. Wait, am I
It's
saying that right?
isolating, yeah.
Isolating. Okay. I don't know why it sounded weird coming out of my, I think I've been talking too much and I'm like, oh my god, what?
Your brain.
Yeah, I'm like, was that a word? I have no idea.
No, you're good. Yeah. No, it's like whenever you say something long enough, you're like, wait, is that even a real word?
No.
No, yeah, it definitely is. And I also feel like you're doing more than just photography if you're like only working for yourself. Like
Right,
when you're doing
yes.
photography alone, like you do not have people like helping you. Like for me, oh my God, I just spend so much time doing pre-production. And like I was literally telling Josh, like, I don't have someone to help me. I literally hired a freelance like assistant last week
Oh wow.
because I didn't have time.
That's amazing.
It's out of my own money,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
it's a write-off, so that's kind of cool. But like
Yes.
I literally, if I did not have her, like 3 shoots wouldn't have gotten planned correctly. And like she was able to organize it all for me, find locations, make the group chats,
Oh,
get
that's
their sizes,
amazing.
and then like, you know, tell me, okay, you need to tell this, because it was with clothing brands. Because yeah, that's mostly what I do. I mostly shoot with clothing brands or like different any sort of companies. I get hired to make content and I curate depending on the brand that I'm working with. So basically, like I had to find models. So whenever they ask me like, hey, we're going to be doing this shoot, we're this brand, we're going to be doing this shoot with these models, this is like what they get paid. Can you find out which models? We approve the models and then you ask them. And then you figure out their availability, you get their sizes, you tell it, we send it to you, and then you do the shoot. That's a lot of work.
That's so much work. And that's I mean, it's smart for you to have outsourced that.
Oh my God, especially because then there are people that cancel. And that's something that like has been happening a lot lately. And like there's, you know, contracts, and then like I had to write up contracts, and then it's like, and then there's taxes on top of it because the client will usually pay me and then I have to pay out.
Yep.
So I have to figure out money that goes to them is not income for me. So now I have to individually get an invoice and then cut out, okay, that wasn't actually money. Like, you know, it's a bunch of stuff.
It's a lot.
Like even as I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, I have so much I have to do.
And
But
people will still be like, that's way too expensive, without realizing like how much photographers need to, I mean, to live and like with gear and programs that we use like Adobe, Photoshop, and
it's definitely like a luxury service.
yes, yeah.
Where it's like, it's not like you just go to the, I don't know, I can't think of like any example right now, but it's a luxury service, but it's like almost necessity because it's like people need photos. People need photos to document life. Like,
Yes.
we are documenting history.
Yeah.
Even like if it's things that are just like minuscule at the moment, that is so necessary. And I think like oh my God. Yeah. I was talking to Julio about this earlier, just like how the 2000s weren't documented correctly. Like people were not documenting things that were hitting the internet as well because like it was happening so fast. And so there are people online who are making these documentaries off of these like very niche things that happened in the 2000s online, like Neopets, for example. And just like the way it functions and then like how it fell apart, or like people are making documentaries about moments of history, right? That's so necessary. And I feel like we have like such a great standpoint. Like we are making a difference in the sense that's like, if I am taking a picture of this like New York Fashion Week,
Right.
2023, dude, you have photos of it.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
That will never happen again, you know?
Right. No,
And
you're
that's
totally right.
It's such an important job. And yeah, it's a luxury service because you're documenting something that is so valuable. And then when you start incorporating like your artistic style, that is such like something that should be cherished, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like they're hiring you because they like what you create. That is so necessary to the human experience. Like we have such a beautiful job.
Oh, it is. It's
You
beautiful.
know?
But it's just funny.
People do not respect it though.
It was funny as they're hearing you say like, or use the example of like New York Fashion Week, because like nobody hired me for that. Like, I didn't get paid once. I lost money doing that. You know what I mean? But like, it's still, I get what you're saying, like documenting a history. Like, I'm very proud to have those photos now. Like, I'm very glad that I got them.
Low key, it's journalism.
Yeah,
If one of those models,
low key it is.
If one of those models becomes something huge, right?
Yeah.
You have a photo of them.
Yeah.
Or like, you could look back on that. Like, someone's grandma might even find that photo of their daughter who's a model and be so proud, and they frame it. And every time they look at it, they go, that's my girl.
Yeah.
And you took it.
Yeah.
Like, someone needed to do it, right? It's so necessary, and there's so much beauty in it. And I feel like if people just
like gave me chills.
if people just know that, I feel like they would be way more appreciative and willing to spend the money. You know? But thankfully, I feel like living in LA, it's really nice because I'll say a number and they'll just approve it without blinking an eye. And I'm like, oh.
Right.
Am I being
punked
appropriate?
right now?
Yeah, am I being punked? Am I being appropriately valued, or am I undervaluing myself? I'm like, wait a second, you were so fast with that I'm like, do I need to charge more, or are you just respecting me?
Right. It could go either way, because they say like you if you don't have anybody saying to you that you're too expensive, then you need to raise your prices. Like, that's a thing people say. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started out, they were like, if nobody's telling you you're too expensive. But then people started telling me that I was too expensive. And then I'm like, oh, I just put all this effort to like write this long email about like what we should like pitch them something. And they're like, oh, that's too expensive. I'm like, great. Fuck.
Dude, all that labor. It's such a fun
like,
game.
there's a lot of invisible labor that goes into our job.
There is. And then there's like, yeah, I mean, with editing, like, that takes time. Like, even if you're really fast at it, like, I've gotten really fast at it.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like, a 3 or 5 hour project now can be cut in half, but I still charge for the same amount.
Oh, yeah. Because you've just gotten better. You've gotten better. Yeah. You know what techniques you like to use. You know the process that you like to do while editing.
I've made shortcuts. I've made filters.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, that's what I want to talk about right now. Is, well, one, like, our photography styles are incredibly different. And if you saw the videos that I made of the 3 photographers of us shoot the same model in the same location, you'd notice how different me, Sam, and Maya's photos are. And I went into that with Sam, and how like they were just all so unique, and it made it so great because we both said before going into that shoot, they were like, oh, well, how are we going to make it? Like, in our heads, we're like, how is this going to like look different? Because I mean, we're all great photographers and probably are like
shooting the same thing.
We're shooting the same thing and probably all think of like where the lighting is best, where like what's the most flattering angle for the model, you know, all that stuff. And it's like, oh, this all might all look the same, but it really didn't. Like, our all of our styles are so unique in how we capture and how we edit. And
even how we communicated
and
with
how
the
we
model.
communicate with, it just like all made it like so. It was just so amazing to see like the outcome, and I'm so excited to do like more stuff like that because those are one of my favorite videos to watch.
To bring back into like what you were saying about just all of us just appreciating one another and like how the competitiveness to bring it back to that. The needless competitiveness between other people, like.
We were rooting for each other during those 5 minutes of like, oh my God, like we were rooting for each other.
Dude, it was like so cool because what I loved so much about it is that no one was wrong.
Yes.
No one was wrong and no one was the best. None of them. Like, we all brought different things. Yeah. And it's like,
and helped each other.
Yeah, even if you could like compete them together, there wouldn't even that. It's like they're so different that it'd be so messed up to compare.
Yes.
Because it was like so beautiful in our own ways. And like even the way you guys communicated with her like taught me a lot. Like I was like, I just love the way you guys spoke to the model. I like learned something out of it.
Oh my God, I don't even remember how
It's so cool. Like even like how you spoke and like how you went and handled that situation, because it was like, oh, cool. Like I could learn something from that. And like, even the way you, whatever, like the photos you guys all got, like the ones you got of her in the blue sweater, love those, dude.
Thanks.
I love what you did with that. And like
you.
I like, or even how Sam documented her look.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that so crazy that everyone like did the best on the look that they did?
Yes.
It was so cute in that regard, but it was just like, I love the ideas she came up with, the ones you came up with for the second look. That was so cool. And just like how we all interacted with different things, but in our own way. And again, none of them were wrong.
Right.
And none of them were the best. Like they were all just beautiful.
I just went into it thinking like we are going to get the best photos for all of us individually.
Yeah.
With all of our different styles, we're going to get the best photos that we can. And Chelsea's going to get so many good photos of herself. Like this is going to be a great showcase of how different creative minds can work together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed it.
God,
But
it's so sick.
no, it was sick.
Such a good day.
Our photographies are, our photography styles are very, very different because you are so, I mean, you're just like a master at Photoshop, like a master. Like it's just crazy when I see your stuff. I'm like, because most times, or a lot of times, you'll post the raw image or like the unedited image, and then your process in editing it, or like the final image.
You
and I'm like,
watch those?
oh my god, of course I'm following you on TikTok. I like all of them, and it's just like I'm just like blown away every time how you can make something that like looked, I mean, already good, because already a good picture, make it look like otherworldly, you know?
Thanks.
because in my photography, I like to just capture a perfect moment. Like I like to capture something like perfectly and then do very minimal editing on it. The photos that make me the happiest are the photos that I don't have to do anything on, that like I just get them back from developing and I'm like, oh my god, this is a perfect picture. Like I exposed it perfectly. I captured it perfectly or whatever. And like I don't have like an editing mind the way you do, of like, oh, I could make this like animated, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I've every time I look at your photos, like every time you post, I'm like, oh my god, like this doesn't look like a camera took it. This looks like she created this out of her own mind and like drew it herself. Like it's insane. I like don't have words anymore because I just did the podcast with Josh.
I know, you're like, words.
I'm like running out.
So much talking.
Yeah.
So much socializing.
But
Both of us just talking about how we're like introverted.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like it just like I feel like it's something you can grab. You know what I mean? Rather than something that's just like documented, like how like I see my photos. Like yours is like, oh my god, like this model should be like a video game character or something, like 3D. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Obviously you know what I mean, because it's in your mind that like comes forth with these edits.
it makes me just feel so good that someone does see it that way, though.
I think everybody sees it
No,
that way, Maya.
probably. I just like, I'm constantly like trying to put out a narrative out there, but like I just don't know how it translates a lot.
Yeah.
And I just like, because honestly, my photography is like my everything. Like
it shows.
Thank you. I truly like the way I edit. Like I'm not trying to be like the best. I'm just trying to be me. And I just like, my photography is that, like, where I just like fully like put it all out there.
Yes.
And I'm like, there are flaws in this. This isn't perfect, but like this is me. Like, do you like it? And I try not to think too much about it because I like don't. If people don't like it, I will be sad because it is me. Yeah. So if someone doesn't like my photography, I have to that's something I'm working on. But like, it's self-love for sure. But I like, art for me is so representative of me as a person. So like when I do my photography and when I create these images, like I am like, this is what I want to see so bad. Do you like it? Because it's what I want to see. I hope you want to see it. You know?
Oh my god, it's so funny because me and Josh talked about like him like optimizing and all of his like creativity comes from him being like, well, I want to see this. Like I this is what I want to see in the world. Like I'm going to make it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to make this better, you know? And I feel like you're very similar in that way, but also I feel like feel sure of yourself in what you're making, because I mean, I'm telling you right now, like, feel sure of yourself, because it's amazing. Because
you.
it's from your mind. Like, if you know Maya too, like in IRL, like if you just like see her work and then meet her, you'll be like, oh my god, like
This makes sense.
Well, no, I was gonna say actually
Really? Oh, really?
the opposite, because, and hold on, because
I cannot wait to hear this.
it doesn't make a sense at first, because you are so lovely and such like a bubbly light person. I don't mean that in like a weird way, but
yeah,
like
I do have some scary shit.
but you are so like always smiling, always talking, like always happy, like always bright-eyed, you know what I mean? And then your photography is like dark, scary, mysterious. Like, I actually, some things do scare. Sometimes I'll comment and be like, this one scared me. Like, this one got me. But I love that, because I've always my whole life known that if art makes you uncomfortable, it's doing its job. Like, I've always had that in the back of my mind. Like, oh, if I watch a movie and it like freaks me out, I'm like, okay, well, it did its job, because I'm gonna think about this. You know what I mean? And I feel like your work is gonna make people think. It's gonna make people confronted with a fear or I don't know, some sort of like darkness in them. And when you meet, this is why I say that it's like confusing meeting you, because it doesn't seem like you are a dark person. You're not like a dark, brooding person. Like, if I saw your photography, I would think that you would show up to every social interaction like just mean mugging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know if that made any sense.
no, it totally does. Because I think my problem is that, like, for me, I feel like I could go way scarier, and I hold myself back.
But you should. But I'm saying it's so
But, like, it's
beautiful.
crazy
I love it. I love the juxtaposition. But then once you get to know you, then you're like, okay, you're a Scorpio. You got some edge in you. You listen to rock music. Like, it fits you, of course, but just you bubbly my personality. I'm like, oh my god, she made this thing that's scaring me.
It's the Libra rising.
It is the Libra rising.
I'm a Libra rising.
What's your moon?
Taurus.
Okay, I'm a Taurus rising.
I'm a fun combo, I feel like. I got like a little Libra rising, and then I got the cynical like Scorpio and Taurus hanging out on the inside.
You do.
I feel like it makes a really great combo for my photography as well. It does. Because like
the Libra rising, it can be so good for like
color.
Working with that, and just like working with clients, like being very friendly. You know?
I think it really helps, because one thing about me is like I'm all about trying to have a personal connection with the model before I photograph them.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I was a little late today, is because like I want you to feel comfortable if we have just met. Like, I want you to feel like we're gabbing and we're having a good time, and I want you to have a good time, so that good time shows up on camera, because those are going to be the best photos.
Exactly.
If you're enjoying yourself, because when you're too posed
and too
like
stiff,
and if you're not like professionally a model, like you do not know how to adapt. Like you need to be comfortable, and I feel like any model would love to have that comfortability. And so like for me, it's like you got to have that one-on-one, you know. So like, I think it helps a lot that I'm so sociable in that regard. And then I just have like very dark interests. Like, I just have always really loved horror. I try to find a way to be like weird, but like colorful at the same time. Like, I want to have spooky and color at the same time, because people, you've seen how colorful my house is. People are very shocked when they see it, especially the people that I hang out with in like the alternative community or the goth community. I'm like, I'm considered
like,
the golden.
What's all this orange and green going on?
Dude, yeah, especially I'm all in black right now, and you know that I have like an entire house that's like yellow and pink and shit.
Right.
But it's just like, I really, really enjoy color. I really enjoy natural light, because it makes me feel good.
Yes.
But I also really like scary stuff, and like I'm referred to in the goth community as like the golden lab, where I'm just like the golden lab of the goth community, where it's like, I'm not as edgy.
That's perfect. That. Oh my god, I should have came up with that when I was like struggling to say like you had the juxtaposition. Yeah.
No, honestly,
it's like black cat but golden retriever like at the same time.
I'm the golden retriever in a room of black cats, basically.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's where you like to be.
yeah, it's truly like I like it all.
Yeah.
Like I like both. I'm
Yeah.
like, why do I have to only like rock music? Why can't I like both?
Yes.
And let's kind of like with the horror photography, there was a time, if you scroll down my Instagram, you can see there was a period where I was only doing spooky photography, and I was like, I felt so in a box, and it didn't feel like me, because I'm not only horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm not only like metal music. Like I have more to me than that.
Yeah, well, now you're bringing your style, your spooky style, your dark, edgy style to more like bubbly shoots, more like, I don't know.
Or even like mixing fashion and horror together.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, like I really try really hard to just like overlap things that I like, because why not have them be both?
Why not like everything about what you're doing? Put multiple things of what you like into something, you know?
Yeah, and that's why, oh my God, and that's why photography is so representative of me, because even like how I was telling, like how I edit it, I love doing makeup. Like I'm not, like, I never tried to be a makeup guru, but I watched every single one on YouTube. Like, I was part of Dramageddon. Like, I had watched everything. I was thoroughly, like, I was on Pinterest. I was, like, learning how to do cut creases, like, the block brows. I had a phase. Like, I loved that. And I feel like that knowledge taught me to be a better editor. Yes. And that's why it's, like, I can edit in highlights on, like, the eyes. Or, like, that's why I edit in individual lashes, because I put on false lashes. Why not put false lashes in post? Oh my God. You know, like sometimes you can actually zoom in on my photos and tell that I painted on lashes, because it's like, I thought it would make
because
them
you like
better.
it.
Yeah, I just gave them. I put them in drag.
Okay, you like it. You know your strengths, Maya, and you use them to the best of your ability, and that's
just
why I feel.
it.
That's why I feel like hopefully by now you're a little more sure of yourself than you were at the beginning of this episode.
Honestly, you even saying all that makes me feel really like how you just perceived it. It just makes me feel so like,
oh my God. Okay. So
no, it feels so good to hear it. Honestly,
I need everybody listening to this to go to Maya's page, follow her, and check out her photography, because it is absolutely amazing. But I want to end with, we're switching gears here, because I went through the planning of the proposal and the actual proposal with Josh, but there's a certain part that I wanted to leave out of that episode so that we could talk about it.
Oh my God.
Because Josh so amazingly hid taking your lens to Big Bear and then leaving it on the deck for me and Julio to go get. And then when I was on the boat with your lens, you did not know that it was your lens that was on my camera. You saw it.
I literally was like, who's this? What's this lady doing with a 70 to 200?
Yeah, I was like trying to like act like I was like a nature photographer, and I have a 70 to 200 lens on my camera, which is not for like I was like pointing it towards trees, which that's just not the lens.
Yeah, I was
that
like,
you would use.
I was like, what is this lady? She's in the middle of the water. If she wanted to photograph trees, get closer to land. Like, I was like, what is she doing? And like, I had no idea. And like, also the way you guys were disguised, I thought you were just like, you guys were in like little jackets and trucker hats. I was like, I thought you guys were just like a retired couple. So what's this retired couple?
That's so
I was
funny.
like, this lady probably bought it as a hobby.
Yes.
And she's probably just taking photos of random things.
Yeah, and I just love that. That's what was going through your head right before Josh started this little speech.
Dude, well, and like, I don't know if you know this part, because like Josh doesn't bring it up a lot, but like, I thought we were gonna have a pontoon.
Oh yeah, no, we went through that. Like Josh, yeah, he so humbly said how you looked at the pontoon boats and was like, oh, we're not doing that one. We're doing this one.
Yeah,
what?
I even said, I was all, I'll pay for half of the pontoon if it's too expensive. Like, I'll do it.
It's like he couldn't in that moment be like, it's for the aesthetic, Maya. You are not going to regret it.
That's what he did. He's all, it's for the pictures. I'm like, it's a good thing that this is my job, because I'd be like, oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. But like, at the moment, I was all, bruh. And then I started playing by Lady Antebellum on the pontoon. And like, I'm all on the pontoon, like just being stupid. And Josh was all, would you mind turning that off? And I'm like, why? Like, because I'm about to get proposed
We're like,
to.
this is the perfect song for right now. Why are you making me turn it off? Oh my
Dude,
God.
I wanted a Corona in one hand. I wanted to wear swim trunks.
Like,
Like, I had these, like, swim trunks that had aliens all over them. And I was going to wear that and a white tank top. I was going to live. I thought we're going on a boat, dude. I'm going to have a Corona. I literally was like, I'm going to vibe, dude. I'm going to play on the pontoon and I'm going to sit on this lake and just have the best time. And he's over here freaking out. Being like, I'm
searching my
proposing.
location in the middle of a Big Bear Lake.
Literally, like, I had no idea. I was like,
Oh my God.
he even said, like, he kept trying to get me to get ready, put together an outfit. And I was like,
For what?
dude, no. Like,
This
I
is my
want to be in a
vacation.
messy bun, swim trunks. Like, I was on that tour for like 40 days. And I was like, I don't want to be here.
Yep.
Like, I do not want to do anything. I just want to, like,
Yeah.
get kind of drunk right now. Like, that's all I want to do. And yeah, so he's all freaking out just because he was proposing. There was even a moment I had that white top and I had little blue shorts. So I was gonna wear like shorts because I was like, we're gonna be on a boat. And he was like, I think you should wear the pants. And I was like, no. Like, I even told him, and he's like, well, we'll match. Like, it'll look nice.
I
And I was
can't. I
like-
can't believe that nothing clicked in you.
It
to be
did
like-
not click until he said, let's stand up. And I was like, well, he kept over and over, like, being kind of, like, cheesy. And I was like, God, he must have really missed me while I was gone. Like, he's being so cheesy right now. Like, I did not. It wasn't until, like, like, there was a little thought in my head where I'm like, is he going to propose? But I was all, nah, I don't think so. It doesn't seem like he's ready yet. I don't think so. I was all, nah, I feel like I would know if he would. And then there was a moment he's like, let's stand up. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's so cheesy.
He's so
right now.
needy.
Yeah. And then he stood and we were holding hands and his hands started shaking while he was talking. And then that was when I was like, why is he? Oh, is he? And then he proposed. And I was all, oh.
Okay, so it hit you like at the right time. I'm just so
was when his
glad
hand was
that it
kinda
was a
shaking.
complete surprise because it's so beautiful that way, you know?
That's what I wanted. Because, like, to me, it feels the most romantic. It
Yeah.
feels like it was his choice.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to be the kind of person where I force my significant other to, like,
Yes.
propose. My previous relationship was very much like he did not show any affection towards me, and it made me very insecure.
Yeah.
And it was like, he just, honestly, at the end of the day, that relationship was truly like, we just didn't love each other enough. Like, he didn't love me the way that I wanted him to, and it was just like, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But he ended up just taking on some toxic traits because he just couldn't confront the fact that the love wasn't there.
Yeah.
So he just treated me bad.
Yeah.
And so
And that's honestly, I feel like how we first like really, really bonded was like talking about how amazing our current relationships are and how terribly toxic our past ones were and how we're so glad that we got out of that to the other side and are finally in like a healthy, loving, supportive relationship.
Dude, yeah, our
Because-
relationships are so similar where it's like he's your best friend and he's
Yes.
constantly proving his love to you.
Yes.
Josh is doing the same. Like, he's always like making me feel good about myself.
Yes.
And like, that's why I wanted it to be his choice because like, I was like, no, this is it. I want it to be all yours because you're mine, you know?
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
like, I want you to be you as much as possible. So I want this proposal to feel like it is yours as much as it is mine.
Yes.
And that's like what it was. Like, he even picked the ring. And
Oh, he
killed
did a
it.
great job. He killed it. You can
he
see
has
the
good taste too, so that helps a
he
lot.
does
has
have great taste.
very good taste, yeah. So he killed it with that, and like it just like is the best way because it was his. You know, I didn't tell him what kind of proposal I wanted. Like, if I would have never guessed that I'd be proposed to on a boat.
Yeah.
Like, that's like so Josh, and
Yeah.
it just like makes me so happy because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, good. It's like both of ours. Like, we're sharing this, you know.
It was just like the perfect like element of surprise too. And then Josh was like, "Oh, that's Emma and Julio."
Dude, and you have that picture of me where it's like right when I found out you guys were there, and he has his hand up.
Yeah. It's like it worked.
So good. Yeah,
was
because he even said, he was
beautiful.
all, that's Emma and Julio. And I was all, what?
And he's like, "And that's your lens."
I even said, I was like, what's that 7200, man?
Yep.
Ah.
Yep.
I'm so
Okay.
glad you got to document it. So cool.
I cherish those pictures and that experience so
my
much.
God,
It was just like the best day ever.
This past weekend I went through them again and I made it my wallpaper.
Oh my God,
Because I
so
forgot about this one. It's so
cute. Oh my God.
It's a really good one of us. Like,
I
we
love
look
it.
so cute. I like want this to be the one that like when I'm a
Precious.
grandma, I'll be like, this is me and grandpa.
Oh, see, well, back to what you were saying, how our job is so cool and so important to history and just like for people to cherish memories for the rest of their lives. I'm so happy
documented
that
my
I got
joy.
to. I'm so glad that I got to document that for you. Like when Josh texted me, I was so like I like teared up. Like I was so happy. And then so like, oh my God, I can't tell why, but like I wanted to like talk to you about it so bad.
I'm so busy. I can't. I remember that. Like you said, like, sorry. I'll be like, yeah, we should hang out when I come back. And you're like, I'm probably going to be so busy. And I was all, damn, good for
my
her.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, I was like, I'm like really busy the next day. Wait, what was it? Because you guys had.
I was about to go on tour for that 40-day one where I did all of Sad Summer.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I was like, hey, we should like hang out whenever I'm back. And you're like, oh, I'm going to be so busy. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like something like that. And I remember being like, damn, she's that busy,
Yeah,
like that far in advance.
I'm like
all,
really,
shit.
I'm very, I can't lie. Like I'm really bad at lying, and I'm really like my emotions like are on my face, and I just would not have been able to like. I'm so bad at keeping secrets, so bad to the point where I was just like I can't spend time with Maya alone. Like I just can't because I'm gonna act weird. I'm gonna act weird, and then she's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this person?" Like she's gonna,
or you're gonna spill the beans.
Yeah. So I was worried about that.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna be so busy. I was all, damn, she's like popular. I was like really impressed and kind of like, oh man, like, do I need to pick up my photography game? Like she's booked as hell. Wow, you know,
booked by your fiance.
Dude, there it is.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on NMJC. Well, I mean, I'll have to have you on again because this is so fun. I love talking to you. You're one of my very good friends. And
we can have like a topic. I would love to. I love gabbing.
I mean, there's so much we could talk about with relationships and photography and LA and everything. So thank you. Thank you for chilling with me. Thank you guys for chilling with us this week. And I will see you next time. And I'll also link everything Maya in the description so you can go check out all her work. So
slay.
Yeah, slay.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.